Welcome to Squatch-D TV, where the truth is first before all else. Join your hosts, veteran investigator, TV personality, and author Steve Kulls, and from the Kentucky Bigfoot Research Project and the Kentucky Fried Fixes channel, Chris Bennett. Sit back and prepare to take yourself on a journey with the longest-running Bigfoot podcast, Squatch-D TV. Here are your hosts, Steve and Chris.
Well, once again, we're here tonight forgoing a lot of the ritualistic things we do here at Squatch-D TV for a little bit of a tribute to our good friend, a mentor to many of us, an all-around nice guy, Dr. Jeff Meldrum, who unfortunately Monday night passed away of brain cancer. And
man,
coming off of what happened Tuesday, the fact that we find out on 9/11, another day that tugs at the heart, what a week this has been.
Yeah.
There's so much I can say, and I'm doing this unscripted tonight. The other night, I wanted to be scripted because I wanted to just to be right on point. Tonight is celebrating a man who gave so much to our community, and I was proud to call him a friend. And we'll go into all of that a little bit as I talk. But I first met Dr. Meldrum in 2011. And last night, the only thing I could do was post this picture on my various social media sites. And what it shows is really the pictures, what they show is the first time and the last time I saw Dr. Meldrum.
In person, but you know,
person.
yeah.
Obviously we had him on the show on February of 2024. Can you believe it was a year and a half ago, over a year and a half ago?
It doesn't seem like it's been that long. Yeah.
It seems like I thought it was this year.
Yeah.
Right. It wasn't. It was the year before. And so in 2011, this is the UFO Bigfoot conference. I even forget what it was. It was at one of the community colleges in Fayette County, Westmoreland County, Pennsylvania. And it was really my first time I spoke to such a large group, and it was the beginning of my speaking career. Because from that point on, I was speaking every year. So there you have a much younger Steve Kulls and a much younger Dr. Jeff there, meeting for the first time, had a nice discussion with him. And then we ended up doing a lot of speaking engagements side by side. Like he was on the dais and I was on the dais, and there was other people, a revolving door of different people. And finally, 2022, when Peter Weimer did his last Chautauqua Lake Bigfoot Expo, he brought Dr. Meldrum to Chautauqua Lake and Camp Oniasa. And, I had the pleasure of, sharing a condo with Dr. Jeff, and we spent the whole weekend together, going to meals together, going to dinner together. Mike Ann did join us as well. Tactical Bigfoot Research. I got to know the man quite personally. And he even made the remark, well, I was so glad that we had this type of conference where we could sit and get to know each other a lot better than, what we have in the past.
Right.
And he shared a lot of personal things, which I'm not going to repeat. But he had his health issues then. He had some. And never really playing that up. Yeah, it was like, I got this, I got that. The man was so generous with his knowledge.
Yeah.
You think, people talk, well, he's got a financial motive. And no. He shared his knowledge and he loved imparting that knowledge. As a teacher, I think he truly loved to see people light up when they get it, when they understand what he's saying,
right,
when he's teaching them. His presentations were always entertaining and informative and engaging.
Yeah.
And I've seen many of them over the years, and I've seen them evolve over those years.
Man, when he was on the show, I mean, so informative. I mean, and the difficult questions, he could just, oh, well, that's just because of this or that. And he'd start explaining it away. And the last time we had him on the show, he would start talking about, which the language that is common in his field of expertise, which was way over here, and that challenged me. I would have to, after we got off the show, I'm looking up, well, what's a metatarsal, flex or whatever, tendon or whatever, and I'm looking this stuff up. And, just his knowledge was, the man was a wealth. He was a well that you could draw from. And
I mean, there's his education.
Incredible. Yeah.
I mean, unreal. Anatomy, physiology, physical anthropology. I mean, just unreal. And he was a visiting assistant professor at Duke. Brigham Young. I mean, those aren't schools to sneeze at.
No. We've got a brain, and it was given to us to fill with knowledge. And of course, that's a personal choice. Some people don't care anything about reading or learning anything, but other people's choose to try to fill it up, and Dr. Meldrum was obviously one of those people. He really,
people talk about his courage, incredible courage to stand up for what he felt was right, for what he felt he could prove, and to go against the norms. That's being brave. That's being courageous. A lot of other scientists, Einstein did that. When he first came out with his, E equals MC squared, they just kind of scoffed at it.
Right.
Every great scientist goes against the grain, to come up with these discoveries. Unfortunately, Dr. Jeff never lived to see the discovery of Bigfoot, and we have yet to wonder if we shall live to see that day. Because we truly never know when our number's called.
Right.
For me, I was sent a very early morning text message in a group. So I immediately started working the phones, and within 30 minutes, I had confirmed that what was being said was true about Dr. Meldrum passing away on Monday morning. And, the family really didn't want that out until they made the official announcement.
Yeah.
And that came yesterday afternoon, relatively quick, as word was starting to spread, and there it is.
Yeah.
All I can say is, of course, he loved teaching and researching Bigfoot, but he was a husband and father first. And he was very well and very good at keeping his personal life out of the front lines.
Yes.
You know, so
and all those years of standing up to the ridicule, you know, I'm certain he was an outcast among a lot of the university staff there, because hey, that's the guy that believes in Bigfoot. Okay, but never wavering, never wavering.
And the other thing too is, you know, his wife Lauren called him a force of nature, and that he was.
Yeah,
that man was everywhere, everywhere, and he wasn't a young guy. I mean, he was 67 at the time. He passed away young, but he wasn't a young man. You know, he had as much energy as a 35-year-old, I would think. And he was 11 years older than me.
Well, I still think 67 is young.
As we get older, we always tend to think that's young.
Yeah, I used to, you know, when you're, you know,
when we're 67, 78, that's young.
when you're 50 years old, you know, it's a lot different outlook on things than when you were 13, 14, 15. Back then, you know, if you were 30 years old, oh, wow, old man.
So before I go on, I do want to, you know, send my prayers and well wishes to Dr. Meldrum, his family, and Lauren. We're praying for you, and we love y'all. Thank you for sharing that man with the rest of us, because people don't understand that that's also a sacrifice his family made to share Jeff with the rest of us.
Yes.
So thank you for that. You know, a lot of people began to ask, you know, well, what's going to happen now? You know, he was our mouthpiece. He was the focal point. I can't even think of that right now. There'll be a time, but right now I'm just, you know, we're all grieving and shocked and saddened and feel bad. So let's have a remembrance of this man. Oh, I'm so sorry, Boris. So my prayers actually go out to you as well, Boris, and your family. I am so sorry to hear that.
That's horrible. Yeah. Oh my goodness. This has been a terrible, terrible week, and it's been filled with tragedy for some reason. There's nothing we can do to control it. Nothing we can do to stop it. It just happens, and unfortunately or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, that's life.
And just so people know, Sarah, our person in the chat, she is an incredible warrior against the C word. And I pray for her every day. And, you know, I hope that the chat room will pray for her every day as well. She is a great young lady, very adventurous, and loves the Bigfoot community. So let's, you know, Sarah strong, kiddo. Sarah strong. And I was doing this while I was at work, mind you. So here I am at work now, and I'm just, you know, I'm in my rosy self at work. Usually I'm a very happy, chipper person.
It's hard to keep the chin up
Right.
in times like these.
Exactly.
It surely is.
But the answers as to where we go from here, who do we look to? Well, I thank you guys for looking to me so much. I appreciate that, and Chris appreciates that. Looking to us, actually, not just me, of course, for, you know, voices of sanity and voices of reasoning and voices of looking at things truthfully and honestly. And we will continue to do that. And that's all we can do. That's all we can do is keep on keeping on. You know, so let's just keep that in the back of our head for now.
Mick's got a comment I want to put up here. Mick says, I could listen to Jeff's presentations and interviews for hours and hours. He spoke with authority, but never spoke down to people. That's so true.
Very true. And he had such a soothing type of voice.
Yeah.
He didn't have this coarse New York type of, you know, a little bit of a, you know, New York accent mixed into it accent. He had this nice, just calm way of speaking to everybody and getting his point across. But yet he could interdict some excitement. And
what a great guy. You know, he solved so many issues that I had with particular tracks and things and the nature about them and how they were formed and things like that. He explained it to me, and it was just like, you know, a light shined a light on my research. I was like, wow. Yep. It's just incredible.
My go-to textbook is When Legend Meets Science. That is my go-to textbook. Some people will, you know, say Krantz's book, which I have one of them.
Well, Grover Krantz was it's pretty dated now.
Right. Yeah. There's a lot. There was a lot of things that
not his fault. Right.
No. There was a lot of things that came to light since Krantz
Yes.
had been an actual practicing anthropologist.
Yeah, that's true, Walter. He seemed to always make time for anyone who wanted to speak to him. Sure did.
Put Lori's comment too.
Lori says, Hal, without him, I feel we're not going to be taken seriously. He was the voice of the research for me anyway. Yeah.
The important thing to remember is not to let the junk science be the voice of us now. You know, we cannot and should not and will not let people who espouse junk science out to the world. We cannot allow that to happen to our community.
Yeah, that's true, Grant. Grant put out, that's a good point. He said, I've watched just about all the videos he's been in, and Dr. Meldrum was bold for going against other scientists. That's true. And he stood up to the ridicule and basically dug his feet in and stood his ground for his position.
But the amazing thing is that if you ever watch any of those, a lot of these videos that were in there where they have these opposing scientists, a lot of those opposing scientists were gaslighting.
Yeah.
They were gaslighting. They were just giving you their opinion, speaking it as if it was fact, and it's just their opinion. Right. Whereas Dr. Meldrum, much of the time, was giving us the actual science of what the locomotion was, or what the particular, animation was, or the particular structure was that we were talking about. And he was an ardent debunker as well.
Right. I mean, his knowledge, he could look at a cast, and I'm certain immediately, without going into it, he could probably glance at one and within seconds and know if it's fake or real. And
fake or real or something else.
Yeah.
Not a Bigfoot. All right.
While the skeptics would look at the cast and say, well, that's a stomper. Somebody's made that. And Dr. Meldrum could pop right back and say, no, because you see the structure here, right behind the big toe. He would go into a whole lecture about the structure that caused that movement in that track. And it's just incredible. The man, I mean, oh, what a mind. What a mind.
And he listened to everybody, even the woo folks. He was able to intermingle with everybody.
Right.
And believe it or not, I sometimes have that ability to, maybe not here on the channel, but people get to know me. They know I don't. It's something I've learned from him is just let it roll. Somebody wants to talk, and I will have a nice debate with him as to that and keep it respectful and have a conversation rather than talking down to people. I know we have fun with the woo folk here on the channel, but in reality, I never try to take away what they've experienced because I wasn't there.
Well, that's the thing. We can listen to discussion and have a discussion about something we disagree with. Even though we may not think that that's the case, it doesn't hurt to listen to the facts, Right. And if we can have a discussion of the facts and keep an open mind, I think that benefits everybody rather than trying to snuff out somebody's candle. And
he was just, like I said, he was just such a astute man. You never, rarely, I should say, heard ever a cuss word come out of his mouth. And for all of that, I mean, he did have a couple of pamphlets he put out, those trifolds, but he only wrote one book.
That's all he needed.
I mean, but he only wrote one book.
Yeah.
And I wish
Right.
he had written more so we have more to. But he was more of an orator than he was a script writer.
Right. Well, I think he shared his information by giving his presentations at conferences. I think he felt those lectures, were maybe possibly more rewarding than just typing that lecture in a book.
And then again, he wrote a number of scientific papers over at the Relic Hominid Project. And I have a lot of those papers in my library.
Yeah.
In fact, those papers have been uploaded into my AI streams as well, so they are remembered and recalled at will.
Yeah. OT said, "Hey, Steve, remember last time he was on the show? He had the best beard I ever seen."
I tell you what, that beard
was a good one.
That beard was intimidating.
It was a good one. He had the whole almost ZZ Top thing going on. It was looking good.
Oh, so Dan Cakeley says he was planning to write a second book in retirement. Oh, the lost opportunity there. What he had inside his mind to go down on paper.
Well, I know with most intellectuals, they will put notes on a computer somewhere, I'm certain. So perhaps maybe after the grieving is over, of course it's going to be a terrible loss for his family, but maybe sometime while recovering from the grieving and the loss, they will run across these notes on one of his computers and possibly share them with us. That would be wonderful.
It's a loss. Hopeful. This is a loss on so many different levels. I think of the personal connection I had with him and the talks we've had and the jokes we've exchanged. And, he actually had a very good sense of humor.
Yes, he did. If you didn't know it, Dr. Meldrum was a bit of a cut up. He had a good sense of humor. But as a professor and a lecturer, you don't normally present that in public.
Right.
and I can understand because there's a certain status you must maintain while you're.
But privately, he sure did.
Yeah, he did. Behind the scenes, he was a cut up.
We had some really great conversations that weekend. I mean, numerous ones. I mean, we had conversations at breakfast. We had conversations during dinner. We had conversations after dinner because we'd all be hanging out at the condo right on the lake. And it was nice to get to share that time with him. And I'm blessed, truly blessed, to have that kind of time with him. I mean, there's a couple of handfuls of us that have had that time, and not everybody had that time with him. Well, that is another side of this whole equation too, is that not only do we have this loss, I have this personal loss, but then we have this loss of this, institution, of the collection, and unreal. And like even DM Zaba, who just popped in, hello sir, just realized that thank you, Ready Steady Retro. Thank you so much for that. If you want to put that one up there.
Ready Steady Retro says, in the UK, both sides of the Bigfoot community respect and consume his work for his knowledge on them, not just what he believes they are. Highly respected, and we are very sad for his passing.
Well, thank you so much for that.
Very kind. Thank you.
Yeah, what more can you say? And at this time, people just want to drop in with their own statements. We'll put them up, and we can read them.
And he was it's true. He was willing to talk with anyone. He would give you his time. Even like, the people that would say, hey, I saw Bigfoot step out of a UFO. I'm certain the first thing he would have asked him was, well, did you get a cast of the tracks? And can I see it?
So, I mean, if Chris, we've only done this once before, but if there's somebody willing that wants to come on and say a few words as well, I'll put the invite link into the chat room. Because we have a backstage anyway, so if somebody's coming in here to play a guest, we can.
Yeah, you just won't automatically show up, on screen with us. Yeah. You'll go into the green room, I guess. I don't know, whatever you call it.
So if anybody wants to do that, just let me know, and we'll get. Actually, you know what I'll do? I'll put the link
just
up.
Just pop the link. Yeah, there you go.
And anybody wants to come on, say a few words. We're going to give you guys the opportunity to say your tributes as well. This is not going to be just us. I want to share this with everybody. If anybody wants to come on and then this week has been crazy.
Been a bad one. Yeah.
And and yesterday was 9/11, the 24th of that.
Yeah. Yeah, Grant, as do a lot of folks.
Grant says he would appear if Chris comes to Whitehall. We know Chris physically can't make it up there. If he made it to Whitehall, he would spend the weekend in bed.
I love you, Grant, man, but I can't do it. I can't do it. We went a couple of weeks ago. Picked up I bought a riding lawnmower that has a bad engine, and it was around 125
yeah, Jen, if you
miles
want,
away.
if you want to drop in, please do. That's why I put the link in chat up there. If anybody wants to drop in and say a few words, please have at it. We want this to be a community event, not just me and Chris doing this as well. It's hard to say, but what as far as I know, I hope Dr. Jeff didn't suffer. I hope he didn't either. Nobody would wish that. Yeah. Go ahead, Jen, if you'd like to. That'd be great. You know, I don't know the etiology of brain cancer, to tell you the truth. And unfortunately, well, the fortunate thing is, I don't know how to really say. It's nothing fortunate about this. Let me rephrase that. You know, we knew something was up when he could not make it to the Pennsylvania Bigfoot camping adventure, which was I think the third week of August this year, or maybe even the last week of August.
Not too long ago, right?
Yeah, just less than a month ago. And, you know, we knew because of health reasons he couldn't make it. He couldn't fly. No particular reason why, but he kept his illness private, as he did with the rest of his life. And you know, we noticed that he wasn't posting for a while. You know, I think his last post was in August, right around that time.
Yeah. Yeah, Lori says, Steve, we're fortunate because he was still working until he could not.
Yep.
I think that's probably the thing. He worked up to the last minute that he possibly could. And, you know, you can only do so much. You can only do so much.
Yeah. Thank you, Bigfoot Florida guy. You can put Bigfoot Florida guy's comment up too.
It's a short list of people that I hold in a high regard in this field. Dr. Jeff Meldrum was one. You two guys are on that list as well. Thank you. That's very, very kind.
Very kind.
Please take care of yourselves. We need you guys around. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. That's too kind.
Yeah, and there was that incident on the Bigfoot cruise, but some of those issues were not related to what happened, and I guess what had happened was he went in for testing, and they discovered.
Lori.
Oh, thank you, Lori. You
Thank you so much, Lori.
Thank you. We appreciate that. He discovered it rather late. I mean, he only was diagnosed with it for like maybe 5 to 6 weeks. You know, and that's it. Boom.
Yeah.
And John Weitzel, who you hear his voice. I know in some of our older show intros, you hear these range of voices. And John Weitzel was another one, and he had gotten brain cancer. And he had just been out with us in October, and a month later, he got diagnosed with brain cancer, and in March, he was gone. And he was 43 years old.
Right.
So, I mean, and he did not have a compromised system like Dr. Meldrum did. Dr. Meldrum had a lot of other issues going on.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just...
That's one of the things about brain cancer. I think by the time you start having the symptoms,
we're going to get to that. It's been a little
already
bit
too late.
Yep. Grant, I will be getting that information out to everybody by the end of the weekend. Again, if anybody is coming up to the YouTube event that hasn't been there, or to the Whitehall event out of our YouTube following here, we're going to do a little mini expedition afterwards. There's going to be camping up there. You can come in on Friday. Reminds me, I still got to call and get the permit. It's okay. It's a phone call.
Very kind.
I will get to that. But if anybody wants to come to that event, just drop me an email at admin@squatchdetective.com. So I'll put it in the chat once more. For any of you that don't know where you're going. There we go. Well, I'm a pretty fast typer there.
Yeah, that was pretty quick.
Well, I've only been keyboarding since like 1984.
Well, you know, that's the thing. I never had formal typing classes either, but after you use the computer for decades, you kind of just have to get to learn how to type. And I do pretty good, except when my keyboard battery starts running low. And it's funny because it's like you're spelling words and it looks like you're dyslexic, but you typed it in right, but it's just that it didn't pop up on screen in the correct order. But luckily, I know I'm not getting dyslexia in my old age, because I could change the keyboard battery and everything works fine again.
No, Jen, you can follow me, but you got to follow me. You can't drive like some of the folks that were following me last year. They were driving like they were 80. Like I'm driving 55. I'm like, where'd everybody go? They're all driving 40. It's a 55. And I know only the car behind me can drive it. You can't, there's no passing. So
Grant says today is my last day of being 51. Well, happy birthday tomorrow, Grant.
That's right. Happy ignored birthday, Grant.
Oh, man.
Yes, yeah, Mick, very true. Jeff did get very animated when he talked about John Green and Renee.
Yeah.
Hendon, yep.
Well, there's no doubt in my mind, although the other ones came first, John Green, Renee DeHinden, Professor Dr. Grover Krantz,
and Peter Bird.
And Peter Bird, giants in their field. And yet, Dr. Meldrum has done more to promote education and knowledge on the Bigfoot subject than any of those that I could think of.
Well, I don't know that. Peter Byrne, Renee DeHinden, John Green, and Grover, they all did their share of interviews. But those were in the days they didn't have the plethora of specials and TV shows that they had today.
Right.
Remember, there was only 3 really big networks back in the day when Dr. Krantz was around, or any of these guys.
Right.
So they may get airtime once or twice a year, whereas nowadays you can even see this ugly mug on TV more than once a week. So,
back at that at that time, that was when your
mug,
television went off the air at midnight, and you got to hear the national anthem play, and then that was it. Nothing but static and white fuzz until morning. And now it's like 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Anytime you want to watch anything, it's available. Incredible.
I know you used to get this. And then
yeah, that's it. That's it. We've now reached the end of our broadcast day. And then, the Star Spangled Banner or whatever, would play. And then...
and then, we used to have channels that used to go to infomercials all the time at a certain time. Then came the 24-hour news cycle.
Yeah. And I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing. I think it's kind of bad because the youth is overstimulated. And it means their brain has to receive that stimulation constantly.
Well,
or they go nuts,
I don't know if it's a bad thing. What's a bad thing is when the 24, and I know this is going a little off topic, but when the 24-hour news cycle went into, well, we got to come up with something. Well, there was another this or another that. And we see this plethora in them focusing on, it was almost, they were shaping people how to feel. And that's very much what the news media is today. They want you to feel a certain way, so they turn that dial.
Well, now I can remember a time when the news was the news. A story would come on and they would report it, and then that was it. They didn't put a slant on it either way. And that's not true anymore. That's not true. The news is not the news. They don't... They ignore stories that are newsworthy and promote other ones that are less newsworthy in order to build a narrative to get you to feel the way they want you to feel. I don't like that. I'd rather them just report the news. Oh, Charlie says when we would see Dr. Meldrum, D loved to tease and harass him and make him laugh. Yeah, yeah. But what a great guy. You know, it's just, I can't believe it. I can't believe it, but it's true. You know, I wish it wasn't. I really do.
But, you know, Mick, I know Mick kind of had a bad statement about Peter Byrne, but Peter, from what I know from some people, was actually a really nice guy to people.
Yeah.
And although maybe he was more of a media hound.
Well, he did have his stick, you know, and his thing. He had his, like, you know, his African hunting cap on, and
he had the Range Rover.
Yes, his whole get up, his persona, I guess you would say. And you know, if that's what it took, he was a money maker, and he had to do that at the time, because other than being a guide for big game hunters, I don't think he really did anything else.
But then again, you know, if anything, Dr. Meldrum was the antithesis of all that. He was just a scientist and a very humbling sounding guy who would just very, you know, not even, I wouldn't say meekly, but very confidently yet soothingly would tell you the facts as they were.
Yes.
And I remember one of my interactions with him maybe 10 years ago, we had somebody on that was critical of the Skookum cast. And I said, what is it with the Skookum cast? Why do you think it's not an elk lay? And he turned around to me and these words have stuck in my head ever since he said this to me. And this is what kind of makes him one of my mentors. As he said, well, the devil is in the details. Every time an elk gets up from laying down, it relieves itself and defecates. In this whole entire area, there was no elk dropping. So he goes, that was one big point which led us to believe that it was not an elk lay.
The details. It was missing the elk scat, you know. That's very good, Lori. Yes, be kind to each other. And I think that is a thing here. Let's be gentle. Yes.
Yep. Well, Sarah, you do whatever you need to do, hon.
Yeah.
It's all good. We understand.
Absolutely.
You know, that's the beautiful thing. You can always catch us on replay if you need to step away. We won't take offense.
Yeah, and Nick said, no question there, Steve. He was a nice guy to everyone he met. I truly never considered him to be worthy of being mentioned along with Renee, John, or Grover. Jeff does, though. Yeah.
Yeah, Dr. Lori, Dr. Meldrum, and that wasn't the Moneymaker cast, actually, damn Zabu. That was Rick Knoll and Dr. Leroy Fish. That was actually at the site before everybody else. It was actually, I believe, Rick Knoll that found it. It had nothing to do with Moneymaker was called and he came. Oh
man.
Yeah, he was supposed to speak at a number of conferences too. That, you know, obviously, you're supposed to speak at the New York Bigfoot Conference. My understanding is, and was talking today. There will be a replacement named tomorrow for Dr. Meldrum at the New York Bigfoot Conference. So,
Yeah, Dr. Krantz did a lot, and he was very passionate about Sasquatch and Bigfoot.
Right.
And he used his knowledge to reconstruct the foot structure, the bone structure, in the Bossberg Cripplefoot track, and which, you know, it's incredible. We don't know for sure how accurate that is, but because the only thing that kind of shades it a little bit is because who it came from. You know, that's the whole deal. Mr. Marx's movie we watched there gives you a good idea of the Cripplefoot creature. Okay.
yeah, I mean, you know, and my understanding is the Skookum Cast now is in the North American Bigfoot Museum with Cliff Barrickman, as far as I know. I could be wrong, but that's what I've heard. I'm going to ask him the next time.
Yeah.
Remily, thank you so much. Glad to have you here. Welcome aboard.
Welcome.
If you're the last one out tonight, Remily, you know, make sure you turn the lights off.
Yeah.
I always tell that to everybody.
Yeah, that would be I would like to know what happened to the Skookum Cast, and if Cliff's got it in his museum, you know, or something. I wouldn't think it would be stored at University of Idaho, or that's where it was, wouldn't it? I don't know where it was before. Oh yes, Dr. Bindernagel was another one. A great research and a leader of the community. He certainly was.
Okay, Boris, maybe Cliff has a copy. Gotcha.
Ah, okay.
How the hell you make a copy of that thing?
Wow. Yeah. 150 pounds of plaster material. Yeah. Or more. That's a good question. You know, it's probably a bit early yet to speculate, but
thank you, Sarah. That's awesome.
Yeah, very good. And that's what it's all about, Sarah. It's getting out there and meet people and talk to them. And you know, Steve does that well too. I gotta give him credit where credit's due. He's great with the kids, especially you know, if you watch some of those live streams he did at the what festival was that, Steve? The oh gosh, the brain has just frozen.
Scarefest.
The one where you let the kids hold the cast.
Oh, I do it at everyone.
That was in Ohio.
Yeah, I do them. I do it all over the place.
But I'm talking the live stream you did anyway. Kid says, you know, he's looking at it, wow, and Steve says, well, you want to hold it? And the kid looks at Steve like, oh, are you crazy? Really? You're going to let me hold this cast? So Steve gets the cast out of the case and hands it to the kid and just tickled to death. You know, you could see his face light up.
Thank you, Tessa. Appreciate it.
I knew, you know, you just knew at that moment, okay, well, here we go. This kid is inspired. And that's what it's all about.
Amen to that, Lori. Amen.
Oh man.
Let me just pop off here a second, Chris. I got to show somebody.
Okay, good. Thank you, Bad Mom. Yeah, it's going to be a strange world without Dr. Meldrum. And that would be great. Nicotine gum. Yes, there you go.
Yep. I got patches too.
Oh, that's good. Well, what's that stuff they give you? There's a medication you can take to stop smoking. I tried
They
it.
did until they found out it was a carcinogen.
Well, that's wonderful. After having taken that stuff for a couple of months,
I took it for 1 month and I quit for 4.5 years.
yeah,
And then stress came about me.
yeah.
Stress came about me, and guess what happened? Went back to smoking.
Right. It happens.
Yep.
You know, it's a very, very nasty habit, and I recommend anybody that smokes don't. But,
No,
I know how it is.
DM Zabo asked if we found out about his death today. No, actually, it was reported yesterday by the family.
Yeah.
And, I'll put the family comment up that was posted yesterday. Of course, I had it within 3 minutes, so. So that was posted yesterday around the 2 o'clock hour. Best of that I can recall. Understand I was working at the time all this was going on, so
Right.
I was trying to work the phones, and
At
the same
even
time,
though Steve and I are considered journalists when we put our journalist hat on, you got to respect the family's wishes and only release the information that they want released, at that time. And I expect this is going to be a difficult time for them. And our prayers go out to them.
Well, Sally, we have to take that mantle on ourselves now. Sally writes, I feel Jeff was a grounding influence in the Bigfoot community. I don't know what we'll do without that now. And Sally, all I can say is that we have to take that mantle on ourselves now. Yeah, when I get a family request for something like that, no, I mean, there's things that, I can be a scoop and get on the air, and no. I had started hearing ruminations of this prior to me going to work.
Yeah.
Did I jump on the air? Did I jump on a social media post? There was one person that did, but
the family's wishes come first.
Right.
They've got enough to deal with right now. There's no need to put any more on them. If they want to share something, they will.
And I may be wrong, but I know Jeff had at least 5 kids. 5. So he's got a big family. He's got a big family. I believe he has, a couple from the first marriage, but I'm not quite sure. I don't know his I don't know his family dynamics. He discussed a little bit of it when we were together, but it was so moot to the talk about Bigfoot, and that's why I got to know him. I know some of his personal background, which I don't want to get into, but he had a family. He had kids. They love him. They're going to miss him. He went way too young. And I understand that. I understand that a lot. I lost my father at age 20. And that was very disappointing because I couldn't go to a bar and have a beer with my dad in a bar, which is kind of a rite of passage. I was able to do that with my sons, which is good.
Yeah.
Good, but I was unable to do that with my own father, and not to have my father at age 20.
Yeah, that was the thing.
So I feel for them. I feel for their, the grandkids. I feel for his kids that they're gonna lose their father, grandfather in the golden years, and that's rough. That's horrible. That's sad. But things happen, and we never know when the knock comes at your door and, Mr. So-and-so, come with us, please. And that's it. You open up the door and there's an angel standing there and they say, come with us, please. You just hope that you open up the door and there isn't a guy with a pitchfork.
Yeah.
But you never know.
Tomorrow is promised to no one.
Jeff was 67 years old.
We have today and we have now.
That's right.
Anything beyond that is not promised.
But we still have to plan as if tomorrow is going to happen.
Yeah.
So, Chris.
Oh, wow.
It's that time already.
Very difficult show. The last 2 shows have been difficult.
Yep.
But we want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. I know it's not been a great show. It's been one of these things, but we can get through this together. Hang in there. If it's your first time watching the show tonight, if you like what you saw, please hit the subscribe button. Smash the thumbs up if you haven't already. It helps us with the algorithm. And I want you guys to know that Steve and I both know and appreciate you guys coming in here and joining us. And I'm sorry, I'm trying not to get choked up here, but you make this show possible. And we know that. We are humbled by your presence and with your gift of joining us for every time we do a show. Thank you so much. And
so what we're going to do this Sunday, instead of having a normal broadcast, we still want to recover. What we're going to do is we're going to rebroadcast a show we did in February of 2024 with Dr. Meldrum. That'll be on Sunday. It runs a little over 2 hours.
I think that's going to be good.
I may have a few words before it, but other than that, man, guys, we love you guys. You are our family. We appreciate every one of you being here. And hey, all I can say is let's try to keep our chins up. It's tough, I know, but we got to do it. And we'll see you all Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. Love you guys. Take care.
We thank you for being here with us on Squatch-D TV. If you haven't taken the time yet, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And oh yes, hit that notification bell too. We don't want you to miss anything. If you really like our content, you should consider becoming a member. And it's really inexpensive and a great way to support not only the show, but honest Bigfoot research. Everyone have a great week. Be safe and God bless. We will see you all here next time on Squatch-D TV. Keep on squatching.